Welcome back. Now that you know some of the basics about QuickBooks, let's get started on creating your QuickBooks company file. A QuickBooks company contains all the financial records for a single business. Before you can use QuickBooks, you need to tell QuickBooks about your business so that it can set up your company file. Setting up your company file properly is the most important thing you can do to help yourself manage your business efficiently and with confidence. As a quick tip, if you've been using Quicken or an earlier version of QuickBooks to keep your company's financial records, you don't need to create a new company. QuickBooks can convert the data for you. However, in this lesson, I'll be showing you how to create a new QuickBooks company. If you operate a business enterprise, the IRS expects you to clearly show all sources of income and to document any business expenses you claim as deductions. For tax purposes, therefore, it's usually best to set up a separate QuickBooks company for each business enterprise you report on your tax forms. The Easy Step interview walks you through the process of setting up your business on QuickBooks. The setup process is easy. The Easy Step interview should take you only about 30 minutes to complete. When you set up your company file, QuickBooks will ask you for a number of details about your company. Most small business owners do better with QuickBooks setup if they break the job into manageable chunks. Here's a suggested schedule for completion. First, choose your QuickBooks start date. Second, gather the necessary business information and documents. Next, set up the company file using the Easy Step interview. Next, fine-tune the chart of accounts. Then enter any historical transactions. Complete the customer and vendor information. Complete the item list, and enter any optional adjustments. Throughout the Easy Step interview, to navigate through it, just click Next to display the next window in the interview, and click Leave to leave the interview and return to QuickBooks. The next time you open the company file, QuickBooks remembers the information you have already entered and returns you to the Easy Step interview where you left off. As a quick tip, set aside a block of uninterrupted time to work on setting up your QuickBooks file. Don't try to complete the setup while you're in the middle of a busy workday. If you schedule your time before or after work hours or on the weekend, setup should take a few hours. Your goal while setting up is to provide as much information as necessary to get going. For example, you could enter data for only your biggest customers and vendors. Later, you can enter customer and vendor data as you begin working in QuickBooks. Or, if you have an especially large customer base, you may wish to hire a data entry clerk to complete this task for you. To begin adding a new company, start QuickBooks, select Create a New Company, click the Start Your New Company File Now button, or choose New Company from the File menu. QuickBooks displays the Easy Step interview window. When you use the Easy Step interview to create a new QuickBooks company, QuickBooks asks you questions about the type of business you own. It uses your answers to get you started quickly by setting up the appropriate accounts and list. In this lesson, you'll create a new QuickBooks company for a business named Heartlock Design. Victoria Heartlock is the sole proprietor of this interior design firm. Most of her income comes from consulting services, but she also sells products such as fabrics and room accessories to clients. At the first welcome window for the Easy Step interview, click Start Interview. The Enter Your Company Information window appears. In the company name field, type Heartlock Design and press Tab. When you press Tab, QuickBooks automatically enters the same name you typed into the legal name field. QuickBooks uses the company name on all reports. Press Tab and enter 94-1234567 as the tax ID number. Press Tab and for the street address, type 1239 Bayshore Road. For the city, let's use Middlefield. For the state, California, and the zip code 94432. QuickBooks prints this company address on checks, invoices, and other forms. Now enter your phone number and fax number fields. Enter them in the format that you would like them displayed. For instance, if you would like your area code in parentheses, be sure to use parentheses. For this exercise, let's enter 650-555-1234 as the phone number. Press Tab and enter 650-555-5678 for the fax number. Press Tab and in the email address field type victoria@samplename.com. For our website, let's type www.samplename.com and then click the Next button. When you create a new QuickBooks company, you can select a company type that most closely matches your type of business, and QuickBooks sets up accounts and lists that are appropriate for your type of company. Your industry selection is used by the interview to ask questions and recommend features that work best for your business. QuickBooks will recommend features that can best meet your business needs, such as enabling sales tax for retail businesses, using estimates in QuickBooks for some service-based businesses, managing inventory in QuickBooks for wholesalers and manufacturers, and creating income and expense categories. Even if you own a type of company that isn't specifically listed, you should select the one that's closest. Victoria Hartlock does consulting as well as retail sales, so we'll select a retail company type. On the Select Your Industry window, scroll down the list until you find Retail Shop or Online Commerce and select that. Although Hartlock Design receives most of its income from consulting, not from retail sales, the retail company type will give us most of the accounts we need. She'll need to modify the chart of accounts later to include an income account for consulting income. Click Next, and the How is your company organized window appears. Selecting how your company is organized tells QuickBooks which tax forms to use for your business. You also indicate the start of your fiscal year. Hartlock Design is a sole proprietorship, an unincorporated business with one owner. Click Sole Proprietorship to select it. This tells QuickBooks to use the 1040 tax form. When you create a new account, you can associate a tax line on which you would report the income or expenses tracked by the account. An account's tax line associates each income and expense account with the appropriate tax form and line on your company income tax return. You'll see tax lines for the tax form you choose and for schedules and other forms typically filed with that tax form. This makes preparing income taxes easier and quicker because it enables you to create tax reports, to assist your accountant, or to export and import your tax data into TurboTax, TurboTax Business, Pro Series, or Lacerte tax programs. Click Next. QuickBooks needs to know the starting month of your fiscal year. Since Heartlock Design's fiscal year started in January, leave January selected and click Next. The Set Up Your Administrator Password window appears. For this exercise, you don't need to set up a password. Click Next, and the Create Your Company File window appears. Click Next to save the company file. In the File Name for New Company window, save your company file in a folder that you have previously created for your company data. Click Save to accept the default name of Heartlock Design. QuickBooks creates the company file.